Hello friends, in our first video of real numbers, we have seen the algebraic properties of real numbers, and then based on the algebraic properties, we deduce some more properties of real numbers. Let's start our video with the order properties of our set of real numbers R. It states that our set of real numbers R has a subset which we call set of positive real number, and we denote that subset by the symbol R plus, and this subset satisfies certain properties which are listed here. The first property which our subset R plus satisfies is closure with respect to addition. That means if A and B are two positive real numbers, that means A and B belong to R plus, then their addition A plus B also belongs to R plus. The second property which our subset R plus satisfies is closure with respect to multiplication. That means if A and B are two positive real numbers, then their product A into B is also a positive real number. And the third property which our set of positive real numbers satisfies is it divides our set of real numbers R into three distinct type of elements. That means if A is any real number, then either A will belong to R plus, or A will be 0, or additive inverse of A will belong to R plus. So in this way, set of positive real numbers R plus divides our set of real numbers R into three distinct types of elements, and therefore this property, the third property, is also called law of trichotomy. Now once we have accepted these three properties, we will develop some notions now. Here, if A belongs to R plus, we write A is greater than 0. That means we say A is a positive real number. Second, if A belongs to R plus union 0, then we write A is greater equal 0, and we say that A is a non-negative real number. Next, similarly, if additive inverse of A belongs to R plus, we write A is less than 0. And if additive inverse of A belongs to R plus union 0, we write A is less equal 0, and we say that A is a non-positive real number. Now, let's define the notion of inequality between two real numbers. We will define notion of inequality using our set of positive real numbers R plus. So if A and B are two real numbers, that means A and B belongs to our set of real numbers R, then we say A is greater than B or B is less than A if A minus B belongs to R plus. And we say A is greater equal B or B is less equal A if A minus B belongs to R plus union 0. Now, if we use the law of trichotomy on our element A minus B, by law of trichotomy we have either A minus B will belong to R plus, or A minus B will be 0, or additive inverse of A minus B will belong to R plus. That will give us either A is greater than B, or A is equal to B, or A is less than B. That means every two real number can be compared. Let's see the next theorem now. Let A, B, C be any real numbers. Now the first statement of this theorem says if A is greater than B and B is greater than C, then A is also greater than C. Let's prove it. First of all, you have A is greater than B. Now by definition of our inequalities, A greater than B implies A minus B belongs to our set of positive real number R plus. Similarly, B greater than C implies B minus C belongs to R plus. But we know that R plus is closed under addition. That means addition of two positive real number is positive. A minus B belongs to R plus, B minus C belongs to R plus. That means their addition will also belong to R plus. Therefore, A minus B plus B minus C belongs to R plus. But what is this addition? If you use the associative property of addition, minus b plus b is 0, so it will be a plus 0 minus c, then 0 is additive identity. Therefore you can say this addition is equal to a minus c. That means a minus c belongs to R plus, and it will imply that a is greater than c. Now let's see the second statement. It says if a is greater than b, then for any real number c, a plus c is greater than b plus c. Let's see the proof. You have a is greater than b. That means a minus b belongs to R plus. Now you want to prove a plus c is greater than b plus c. That means we want to prove a plus c minus b plus c belongs to R plus. So let's consider a plus c minus of b plus c. Now this addition is a plus c minus b minus c, because we have proved minus of b plus c will be minus b minus c. And if you club c with minus c, you will have it is equal to 0, and this addition will be equal to just a minus b. But a minus b belongs to R plus, because a is greater than b is given to you. So that means a plus c minus b plus c belongs to R plus. Hence you can conclude a plus c is greater than b plus c. Now let's see the third statement. It says if a is greater than b and c is greater than 0, that means c is a positive real number, then c times a is greater than c times b. Let's see the proof. Again you have a is greater than b. That means a minus b belongs to R plus. Now c is given to be greater than 0. That means c also belongs to R plus. C belongs to R plus. A minus b belongs to R plus. Therefore by order properties of set of real numbers R, we can say that multiplication of two positive real number is positive. Hence you can say a minus b times c belongs to R plus. But this multiplication c times a minus b is equal to ca minus cb by using the distributive property of multiplication over addition. That means you have ca minus cb belongs to set of positive real numbers R plus, and that proves ca is greater than cb. Now the fourth statement of this theorem is if a is greater than b and c is less than 0, then ca will be less than cb. That means inequality will change after a multiplication by c if c is less than 0. Let's see the proof of fourth statement. Again a is given to be greater than b. That means a minus b belongs to R plus. Now c is less than 0 is given to us. That means minus c is greater than 0. That is minus c belongs to R plus. Now minus c belongs to R plus, a minus b belongs to R plus. Again using the order properties, we can say product of two positive real number is positive. Therefore minus c times a minus b belongs to R plus. But minus c times a minus b, you can do the calculation, is equal to minus c times a minus c into minus b. That means it is minus c into minus b will become c into b, and then minus ca. So c into b minus c into a belongs to R plus, and that proves cb is greater than ca. So if a is greater than b and c is less than 0, then cb is greater than ca. In that way we have proved all the statement of our theorem. Now let's see the next theorem. It states if A belongs to set of real numbers R and A is not equal to 0, that means A is a non-zero real number, then A square is strictly greater than 0. That means we have to prove square of every non-zero real number is greater than 0. Let's prove it. Now A is not equal to 0 given to us. Then by using the law of trichotomy, we can say A is either greater than 0 or A is less than 0. That means A either belongs to R plus or additive inverse of A belongs to R plus. Now we will again use the order properties of real numbers. That means product of two positive real number is positive. That property we will use. So first consider A belongs to R plus. A belongs to R plus, therefore A into A should also belongs to R plus by using the order properties of our set of real numbers. But A into A is A square. So A square belongs to R plus. So in this case we have proved if A belongs to R plus, then A square also belongs to R plus. Second, we have minus A belongs to R plus. In this case, again we will use the order properties of our R. That means product of two positive real number is positive, and we will say minus A times minus A belongs to R plus. Minus A is positive, so minus A times minus A is product of two positive real number, therefore it should belong to R plus. But minus A into minus A is minus 1 times A into minus 1 times A. I can club minus 1 and minus 1, that will become plus 1, and this A into A is A square. So I will have in this case also A square belongs to R plus. Therefore you can conclude if A is a non-zero real number, then A square is strictly greater than 0. Now let's see the second statement. It says 1 is greater than 0. That means multiplicative identity of our set of real numbers R is greater than our additive identity of set of real numbers R. Now since 1 is multiplicative identity, I can write this 1 as 1 into 1, because by definition of multiplicative identity, any real number multiplied with 1 will give me that real number back. So in particular, if I multiply 1 by 1, I should get my 1 back. So I can write 1 equal to 1 dot 1. But 1 dot 1 is what? 1 square. That means it is square of 1. And in first statement here only we have proved that square of every non-zero positive real number is strictly greater than 0. And we know that 1 is not equal to 0. Therefore 1 square should be greater than 0. But 1 square is greater than 0. That means 1 is also greater than 0, because 1 is equal to 1 square. So you get 1 is greater than 0. The third statement says every natural number n is greater than 0. Let's prove it. We will use principle of mathematical induction to prove this. Now the base case is n equal to 1. In second statement of this theorem only we have proved that 1 is strictly greater than 0. Therefore for n equal to 1, our assertion is true. Now we assume that our assertion is true for some natural number k. That means k is greater than 0. That is k belongs to R plus. Now k belongs to R plus, and we already know 1 belongs to R plus. Then by using order properties of R, we can say addition of two positive real number is positive. Hence k plus 1 is positive. That means k plus 1 belongs to R plus. That is k plus 1 is greater than 0. So our assertion is true for k plus 1 also, and that proves by principle of mathematical induction that every natural number n is greater than 0. Now let's see the next statement of our theorem. It says if a is any positive real number, then its multiplicative inverse is also positive. That means if a is greater than 0, then a inverse is also greater than 0. Let's prove it. First, we are given a is greater than 0. Now, if a is greater than 0, we know that a inverse exists because a is not equal to 0. Consider square of a inverse. in the first statement of this theorem only, we have proved that square of every non-zero positive real number is greater than 0. Therefore, square of A inverse is greater than 0. Now, by using order properties of R, you can say multiplication of two positive real number is positive. Hence, you can say A into square of A inverse is greater than 0. Now, square of A inverse I can write as A inverse into A inverse, and I will club one A inverse with A by using associative property, and I will get A into A inverse multiplied with A inverse is greater than 0. But A into A inverse is 1. That means you have 1 times A inverse is greater than 0. But 1 times A inverse is same as A inverse, and that proves A inverse is greater than 0 if your A is greater than 0. So we have proved all the statement of our this theorem also. Now one question is there. Can you find the smallest positive real number? The answer is no, and that is answered in the next theorem. Let's see the statement of our theorem. This theorem states if A is any positive real number such that A is greater equal 0 and less than epsilon for every epsilon greater than 0, then A must be equal to 0. Understand this statement. This statement says that A is less than every positive real number. Epsilon is greater than 0, that means it is positive real number, and A is less than epsilon for every epsilon, that means A is less than every positive real number. And the statement says if A is less than every positive real number and A is greater equal 0, then your A should be equal to 0. That means there does not exist any smallest positive real number. Now we will use the method of contradiction to prove this theorem. On contrary, you assume that A is greater than 0. See, in the theorem it is given that A is greater equal 0 and we want to prove that A is equal to 0. So we want to prove that A greater than 0 is not possible. So we have assumed A is greater than 0 and we will arrive at certain contradiction, and then we will say A greater than 0 is not possible. So the only possibility remains is A equal to 0, and in that way our theorem will be proved. So after assuming A greater than 0, you take one positive real number epsilon naught as 1 by 2 times A. Now it is an easy exercise that you can check epsilon naught equal to 1 upon 2A is strictly less than A. So you can say this epsilon naught is greater than 0 and is less than A. But this is contradiction, because you have found a positive real number epsilon naught such that epsilon naught is less than A. But in statement it is given A is less than every positive real number. Therefore it's a contradiction. So you can conclude that A greater than 0 is not possible. Hence A should be equal to 0, and that proves that there is no smallest positive real number. Let's see the next theorem. It states if product of two real numbers AB is positive, then either both A and B are positive or both A and B are negative. Let's prove it. First, we are given that product AB is greater than 0. This implies that A is not equal to 0 as well as B is not equal to 0, because we know that multiplication by 0 to any real number is equal to 0, and since the product AB is greater than 0, we can say A and B both are not equal to 0. Now by using the law of trichotomy, we can say since A is not equal to 0, A is either greater than 0 or A is less than 0. Now consider the case when A is greater than 0. If A is greater than 0, we have proved in this video only that A inverse is also greater than 0. Therefore, by using the order properties of R, that is product of two positive real number is positive, you can say A inverse times AB is positive. AB is positive, A inverse is positive, therefore the product A inverse times AB is greater than 0. Now this product is equal to B because A inverse into A is 1 and 1 times B is B. So it proves if A is greater than 0, then B is also greater than 0. Now the next case remains when A is less than 0. If A is less than 0, additive inverse of A is greater than 0. And therefore you can say minus A inverse is also greater than 0. Next, observe that minus A into minus B is equal to AB. And AB is given greater than 0. Therefore minus A into minus B is also greater than 0. Now minus A inverse is greater than 0. Minus A minus B is greater than 0. By using the order properties of R, I can say product of two positive real number is positive. Therefore minus A inverse into minus A into minus B is greater than 0. But minus A inverse into minus A minus B is equal to minus B. Therefore I will get minus B is greater than 0. If minus B is greater than 0, I can say B is less than 0. And that proves if A is less than 0, then B is also less than 0. So we have proved our statement. If product of two real numbers AB is greater than 0, then either both A and B are positive or both A and B are negative. Now based on this, one corollary is there. It states if product of two real numbers is less than 0, then either A is less than 0 and B greater than 0, or A greater than 0 and B is less than 0. Now we will use the previous theorem to prove this. We are given AB is less than 0, therefore minus of AB is greater than 0. But minus of AB I can write it as minus A times B. So you have two real numbers minus A and B such that their product minus A into B is positive. So using the last theorem, you can say either minus A and B both are positive or minus A and B both are negative. That here I have written minus A is greater than 0 and B is greater than 0, or minus A is less than 0 and B is less than 0. That means you get either, see, if minus A is greater than 0, A is less than 0. So you can say either A is less than 0 and B greater than 0, or A is greater than 0 and B is less than 0. So you have proved that if product of two real numbers is negative, then both of them cannot be positive or both of them cannot be negative. So one should be positive and other one should be negative. We have proved that statement.